11 games Microsoft needs to win E3. If Nintendo wants to win E3 2017, it needs to be itself. E3 2017, how can Nintendo win? How can Xbox win E3? Sony can win E3 2017 with these reveals. Sony could win E3 2017 with these 5 mind-blowing reveals. E3 2017, how can Nintendo win? Here's what Nintendo needs to do at E3 2017 to win. Sony's uphill battle to win E3 2017. The list goes on and on. That's just a small sample of the articles that are out there. And I want to say right off the bat, anybody can write anything that they want. I'm not telling people don't write these things. You know, you're free to write whatever you want. I'm just trying to figure out why we are so enamored with somebody winning E3. Obviously, these articles are out there because people read them. But winning E3, what does that even mean? How is that quantified? And why does it matter? A large group of people are obsessed with somebody winning E3. There has to be a winner and everybody else has to be a loser. There has to be someone that is hoisted above the crowd when all is said and done. When all the companies lay out all their cards and everybody sees what there is to see, somebody has to come out above the rest. Somebody has to have bragging rights, so we can say E3 2017, Sony was the winner and all the rest were garbage, or Nintendo was the winner, or Microsoft was the winner. We need the king of E3 to come forward and say, here's your royal crown and scepter, company that won E3. Now you get to enjoy a year's worth of praise from everyone, and anybody that says a bad word about you will be stricken from the internet and never seen from again. I don't get it. Why do we need a winner? Why is there a winner? I don't get the whole concept at all. Like I said, there's no way to discern who the winner of E3 is. I mean, if you're going to look at it like that, what do? Which company got the most views for their live press conference? Or which company has the most views a week later? Or which company has the trailers that have garnered the most views? You know, do you do polls about it, asking people who had the best presentation at E3? And they vote, and some of them vote honestly, and some of them vote because of their love of Nintendo, Microsoft, or Sony. So no matter what the company does, they're going to say that it's good. Yeah, do they do it because they want to make sure when the poll results come out, they can trumpet those results in the console war arguments that they've been having on various message boards and stuff like that? You know, there's no way to look at it and say somebody has won E3. The whole idea of the article just seems so silly to me, but I'm in the minority here, it seems like, because like I said earlier, these articles are all over the place, and it seems like with each year that comes in which each E3 that is about to hit us, there's more of these articles. People aren't just talking about who won E3, we gotta know who's going to win E3, what they can do to win E3, and what happens after they win E3. I mean, what is E3 really? When you break it down, it's a collection of a whole bunch of teaser trailers and trailers for games that are ridiculously far off from launch. Like, we're not going to see some of these games until 2, 3, 4 years down the road, and even longer than that sometimes. And we're seeing trailers for games that can completely change by the time they come out. We've seen plenty of teaser trailers that show off games that are completely different from what we get when they're finally out at retail. Now, all these companies do show off games that are soon to release at least in the same year that the E3 is taking place. But more often than not, the majority of stuff that's shown is for games that are very far off. So I wanted to look at something as close as I could get to official awards for E3, and that's the Game Critic Awards. They pull together a whole bunch of media outlets that are gaming media outlets that look at what's being shown at E3. They nominate certain titles, and then from those nominees, the numbers are pulled together, and winners are given for certain categories. So I went back to 2014 because with 2015 and especially 2016, there's still some games that aren't out yet, but with 2014, by and large, most of the games that are at least nominated have released since then. So I'm just taking a look at a few of the categories here. Best of Show winner was Evolve. Now, Evolve came out, it seemed like people didn't really buy it, and then it was dying pretty much, and I believe, unless I'm mistaken, I believe the game went free to play, which gave it a bump for a while, but now the game's dead. Like, the service is defunct, it's over. Like, Evolve isn't something you can play anymore. Best Original Game went to No Man's Sky. Now, when No Man's Sky launched, I don't need to tell you how much complaints and anger there was about that game. And I'm not saying that's right or wrong, I'm just saying, if I say No Man's Sky now, you get a much different impression in 2017 than you did in 2014. 2014, we were looking at the promise of the game and what it was telling us it was going to be. 2017 or 2016, people feel like it didn't really hit that mark. We're giving games awards and they're not even out. We don't know how they're going to turn out. Like, if this whole obsession with a company having to win E3 and giving companies awards at E3 for games that aren't done, if we have to continue the fascination with winning things at E3, let's do something that makes a little more sense, like games to keep an eye on. That's basically saying, hey, we don't know what these games are going to turn out like when they finally do launch. They could be garbage, but what we saw/played at E3 intrigued us. So hey, here's something we think might be good down the road. Keep an eye on it. But it's I think people would take that as like an insult, or like people would get the idea that it's a lesser game. You're only telling us to keep an eye on it. That doesn't sound very good. I want something that won E3, something that blows us away. Like I said, they're games that aren't out yet. I think they need some time before we can decide if they've won anything. So when you boil it all down, E3's winners are a bunch of games that have teaser trailers, a bunch of games that are years off from release, a bunch of games that press have had hands-on impressions from, sections that are tailor-made for press to check out, and those games could completely change by the time they actually get into consumers' hands. The whole idea obviously it irks me, that's why I'm doing this video, but I don't think those articles are going to go anywhere, and people like to read them, so who am I to judge any of that? Just for me personally, I think it's a silly thing to discuss who won E3 and try and figure out how companies are going to win E3 or what they need to do. Can't we just enjoy E3 for what it is, the big spectacle, get excited about things, and wait for them to actually come out before we're like, yes, that game's worthy of an award. Like, you know, let's judge the game on the full game. I don't know, maybe that's a crazy idea. And I could go with the, it's syrupy sweet, and some people might think it's lame, but the winners of E3 are video game players, because we all play video games, and we get to see video games that are in development, and we get to get excited about games that are coming up. So the people that watch E3, the people that follow E3, those are the winners. And this time, this E3, consumers get to go. They had to pay tickets, or they had to pay for tickets to get in, but now they get to go on the show floor and play stuff. So those people are getting to win E3. Just people that enjoy video games in general, they win E3. Let's let the games stand for themselves. Let's not try and figure out when the dust is settled who won E3, because it's a nonsense argument. There's no way to decipher that, and nobody gets anything for it. Just enjoy what you see. Just have fun watching games and be excited about them, and when the games come out, put your dollars out there, pick them up, and hopefully you find them worth your time. Hey guys, RMC here from Go Nintendo. If you like what you saw in the video, why don't you give us a thumbs up and maybe even subscribe? We'd love to have you. If you want to see what else we're up to, you can check out GoNintendo.com for 24-hour Nintendo news. You can visit us on Facebook at facebook.com/GoNintendo. You can check us out on Twitter at twitter.com/GoNintendoTweet, and we're even over on Instagram at instagram.com/GoNintendo. I put all the links in the description just to make it easier for you guys to follow. Thanks a lot!